on that one and exalt the white man's. That's why we'll remain like this. God's power with that comment. So, like I said, unhealthy comparisons. Interesting times we are in. 90.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Jude? Yeah, my name is Barisi, calling you from Lelewo.
Good morning, Barry C.
Thank you. Yes, I want to encourage comparison, my brother. It is very, very important. But for me, what's the reason? What's the motive for comparison? That's what should be the important thing for us as a people. Take, for instance, as a businessman, you did your business last year, 2024, and you are also running your business 2025. If at the end of the season, if you just do a little comparison, sometimes you discover that you've done so well in 2024 as compared to 2025. Then you should be able to sit down and ask yourself, what did you do wrong in 2025? And what was it that was helping you to do better in 2024? If we don't compare ourselves, like we are saying, healthy comparison, we will not know whether we are stagnant or we're making progress as a people.
Fair enough.
So, yes, for me, what are we comparing or doing comparison for? If it is for development, if it was advancement, whatever, should know why, and then we must make progress there.
Okay. All right, Barry C., thank you very much for joining us in this conversation.
You're welcome,
Thank you. All right, now let's get to the headline news and then we'll get to the one play draws. I have some interesting comments here. I can't wait to get to them. If you just joined us, don't worry, you haven't missed much. We're talking about healthy comparisons, societal comparisons, how we compare one society to the other. And my question is, how do we get to a point where we can compare healthily what the West does and what Africa does? Stay tuned. Just refresh the one play page, and a new number has just dropped on us this morning. Let's call this lovely person. Hopefully this lovely person will answer us, and we can now join and celebrate in the latest 25,000 naira winner on the show. So as always, oneplay.ng is where you get to on your browser, or if you have a regular phone, star 347 star 880 star 6 hash. That does the trick, and 500 naira grants you a ticket. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Jude for Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, sir.
Jude Omamegbe.
Yes, that's my name. Wow. Okay. All right.
I don't hit him today. I don't hit him.
Are you sure?
I'm waiting to come. You know me before. I know you, but you don't know me.
Oh, interesting. What's your name, sir?
All the name or one.
Let's start with the one that everybody can hear you and we can pronounce.
Okay. My names are Okpara Divinus.
Okpara Livinus.
Yes, sir.
Okpara Livinus. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Livinus, did you buy a one-play ticket this morning?
Exactly, I did.
You did. What time did you buy?
That should be around between 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right. 8 o'clock. Okay. I heard the 8 o'clock. Anyway, Livinus, your number is actually on my screen. And
wow.
yes, you are the second winner this morning.
Wow.
25,000 naira is yours on one play, Livinus.
Wow. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for trying out, and thank you for sticking with us.
I was looking at how much I've spent. I said, man, I've spent so much on this.
Don't worry.
This is a consolation.
It is. Don't worry. Tomorrow is the jackpot. Who knows, your number could pop up again as somebody else has in the past.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it will. All right. So the one play team will call you in the next 24 hours, Mr. Livinus. I have just sent your name across to them right now as we speak, and they would ask you for an ID. Usually your NIN works, and then you'll be credited with the 25,000 naira. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful day, Mr. Livinus.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Thank the computer for me.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so that's a great one. That's a good one. All right, now speaking of good ones, right? We have good things that work for us here in Africa, and we have things that don't work so well for us. There's no denying it. But when we are looking at ourselves and measuring our progress, is it fair that we are measuring our progress based off westernized standardization? And whether or not, since we are now in the global village, people are looking over, and let it be said, please, that the West too are also looking across the fence. They're looking at what's China doing that is working well, or what's India doing that's working for them, or what's this little country here in the Pacific Ocean, what are they doing that's making them do this so very well. Everybody has ideas. Everybody's bringing their ideas to the global space in a bid to improve what we now know as the human race. However, the question has to be asked: how can a healthy comparison between the West and African countries be achieved? Because I'm of the opinion that we have for so long based all our successes on what the West deems as successful. In such scenarios, in fact, in many scenarios, we've seen the erosion of very many African and Nigerian intrinsic cultural values. Languages, I'm sorry to say, have become extinct. A good number of them are still in the process of extinction as we speak. They are endangered. That's a proper term. They are endangered as we speak. But we live in a time where not everybody, a lot of people would very readily put up your hands and say, "Oh, in America, you can't do this." Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, from what I found, it is happening. It is happening. You see the trash on the streets in the median of Port Harcourt. There are places right in Washington, D.C. that look exactly like Ogbogoro. They look exactly like Ogbogoro. A friend of mine, when he visited New York first time about 10, 15 years ago, said, "My guy, New York, they smell." This is not to say the whole of New York smells or stinks. No. But you see, there are places that were very reminiscent of what we are very used to here in Africa, here in Nigeria. But when we make comparison, it looks as though the West is a utopia while we are a backwater tribe. And nothing could be further from the truth. But comparison is needed. The question is, how do we cultivate a healthy comparison?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so 017-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. All right, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. All right, let's have it. Let's jump into the conversation. All right, this one here says, frankly speaking, there is no basis for comparison. Dependency theory and the practices inherent in global political economy make any form of comparison impossible. The book, The West and the Rest of Us by Chiwezu explains it better. Africa, in the lens of the West, is an underdog. Unfortunately, there is no strong Afrocentric submission to contradict this assertion, not even that of Professor P.L.O. Lumumba. Oh, by the way, I've read some of his work, Lumumba. I would encourage anybody to read it. It is inspiring. Aga is on the line from Omamegbe. Aga, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Aga.
Yeah, you see, this comparison of the game is relative by my own assessment. For instance, like you said, even when you go to America or whatever, they still have slums and all that. The difference is that there is a kind of public engagement. You know, the last time I talked, for example, the flood we have now.
Yes, please.
If I can send you a video, if I have a means to do that, I'll send you. Between the track by MCC on the Ikere Road, going down to Rumomong, I know that drain path is highly silted, and a lot of vegetation have covered the channel. Now, the buildings there have been sacked. The occupants of buildings there have been sacked by flood. Why is this so? Because there is no conscious effort to clean this natural channel that has been created by God. They are there. If I send you a video, then before yesterday we were going through, I was taking the soldiers from Boring Camp around this and indicating where some of these things are coming from. You see a human being build his house across floodplain. I think he doesn't know what is happening. Somebody will sell the land, they will not investigate, the town planners are not doing anything. When you go, they will show you approved plan, and you ask yourself, what happened? How can somebody approve a plan to be constructed on a floodplain that water channel is something will not happen in such developed world? We are civilized that we play, but our attitude is the basic thing I'm talking about. That is just make the comparison a kind of something that is relative. For example, if we are behaving well, I don't think it should be like that. That is what makes those people better than us, because the agencies are working. In fact, when you finish your house, they'll come and inspect it, whether it is good to occupy, whether the environment is friendly.
Okay.
But our own, you build and parking. Agencies are not working. Our people are sleeping. That is why the comparison is necessary. But condemning what we can do, we have the best brains. We have the best people who can do all manner of things, but the attitude is what makes it as if people prefer even to jump out of Nigeria. So that's my take.
Aga, thank you very much. Aga speaking to us from Omamegbe. We have Muriel on the line from Okrika. Muriel, good morning to you, please.
Thank you, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Look, Jude, I think comparing yourself with someone is good when it's healthy. Some persons say, oh, why are we comparing this? No. It's good when you have the mind, the intention to, improve on what you have. Now, looking at let me use the U.S. I just love how they do government, how they do politics. Now, do you know that a president of the United States can be forced to resign?
Okay.
Because of lying.
True. That's happened.
Not.
That's happened.
You'll be forced to resign. The people will force you to resign. Look, Jude, at the time of George Bush, when he was asked if he takes weed, he accepted. He accepted that he does. Once in a while. There's a way he coined it, and it was they forgave him, and it was accepted by all. Look at he denied that he had an affair with Monica
Lewinsky. Yeah.
Trust me, it brought his government down. A single lie to the people can bring you down as a government, as a president, not to talk of just a governor. So I just love how it is there. So I compare it vis-a-vis to how we do politics, how our leaders can come out and tell us what is not. What we're not seeing, what is not feasible, and they just go and relax, cross their legs, and just watch us, run around to and fro with their comments when they know in their heart that these are lies. And the way they do the ideology behind party system, I love it. You will see one person in a party for all his lifetime is a Democrat. For all his lifetime is a Republican. I just love those two things. We shouldn't just be comparing. Oh, we are not allowed to flog children. I love it. We'll flog our children, yes, and beat them very well. So that when you go there, they don't allow their children. They're not allowed to flog. All those things are not comparisons. Let's compare wonderful things. We have a lot to learn from them. But the way they do their leadership, their government styles, how they lead their people, I envy it and I admire it so much. And I think they have a long way to go when it comes to that. Thank you, Jude.
All right, thank you very much. Muriel speaking to us from Okrika. This one here reads, comparison will make us know whether we are doing well or not. Ogo General Justice with that. Once again, comparison is not new. The question is, how do we get to the point where we can have a healthy comparison? Because, the argument right now is that what we as Africans do is basically badmouth and run down everything that is Nigerian, everything that is Ghanaian, everything that is, from Ivory Coast or Uganda. We always see, we see the maleficence of Africa, and we see the benevolence of the West. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So yes, you can compare. It's kind of how, in the car world, there's a lot of comparison. People look over each other's shoulders. Oh, BMW brings this thing in, or Mercedes-Benz started. Mercedes-Benz was the first car to have airbags. They pioneered that technology. But guess what? These days, it is a standard. If you have a decent car, you want people to buy your car, have airbags. It's a very important safety feature. If you don't have airbags, your car will probably not be put on the car lot. Other cars now measure themselves. Okay, Mercedes-Benz is the yardstick for comfort, for elegance, for luxury, for dependability. Now everybody looks at Toyota. So there are collaborations. There's a competitive nature, but there's also collaboration. Rain falls. Oh, flash flood. This country is useless. But have you studied our topography? I'm not saying that the government shouldn't work out ways to make sure that these floods are mitigated. But have you compared the topography between us and them? What are the interesting dynamics that, they've been able to harness that we haven't? It's all I'm asking. All right, messages now. Let's continue. We'll get back to the phone lines very shortly. Ernest from Woji said, someone said that the lies of Clinton brought his government down. It's a fallacy. He completed his tenure. Yeah, he did complete his tenure. He was only impeached. He completed his tenure, but the approval ratings obviously dipped, and it was a very testing time for the Clinton family, and indeed for Bill Clinton himself, right? He did complete it, but yes, he was impeached. Do you know how many lies Trump has told? And she's saying all their life Democrats or Republicans. Trump was a Democrat before. No, yes, you can as well here. You have freedom of association, but I think what you're saying is that when people have ideologies, they more often than not stick to it. So you have people you have regions in the US, you have states that have, traditionally voted for Democrats. You have states that traditionally voted for Republicans. But sometimes they swing for a plethora of reasons. It happens. Okay. All right. This one says, good morning, Jude. Which one is Uncle Jude inside? Jude is fine, no? Well, I'm kind of like an uncle, Anyway, moving on. I think Africa has been comparing itself too much to the West, and it is really affecting how we think, live, and govern. It is good to learn from others. Even the West learned from us and others. But the problem starts when we copy everything without asking if it fits to who we are. We once had strong values, unity, identity. That's in the 80s and 70s. I wasn't born then, but in trying to quote-unquote modernize, we have traded those strengths for imitation. Part of the issue comes from our leaders. Many measure progress by Western standards instead of building systems that reflect our realities. But the truth is, the people also think the same way. We often praise and support those who speak or act like the Western world, while we look down on those who stay true to African culture and simplicity. The example about Togo makes me question their independence. Oh, please go read it up. Go read it up. Trust me on this. Go read it up. Real progress won't come from from imitation, but from rediscovering our own worth, blending modern ideas with African wisdom so we can move forward on our own terms. So until leaders get to rethink, we will be forced to continue saying insaner climbs. Well said. We like that phrase, insaner climbs. Anyway, another message here. It says, there is no Africa versus the West in the way you are saying. When you see what works for you, you borrow or adopt it. When you see what's not working for you, you can either admit it and drop it or stick to it because your ancestors didn't have the knowledge or balls to leave harmful things alone. Like what you said about Omugo or being isolated. Jude, anything that will keep me and my husband and children safe is what I would do without fear, guilt, or concern about anyone's opinion. Some of us have experienced what happens when you allow people to think that our boundaries are non-existent or a suggestion. So if you insult my husband or me, you are wasteful, ungraceful, abusive, entitled, yet you call yourself my family or my husband's family, you will be removed from our lives, and I will just put it in my mind that you don't exist. It's a very long message here. But yeah, I can understand that there should be boundaries. People need to reinvent and rethink what works best for them. True. This one says, bro, after the Republican Party impeached Clinton, their own ratings went down. Ernest from Woji. Oh, Ernest, thank you very much. I may not remember that. I don't have all the facts in front of me. Volvo actually pioneered the airbag system, but they let it be used by other manufacturers for free, anonymous. Oh yeah, I think that's true. Thank you for that. I think that's true. They made it, but they didn't patent it. Yeah. Thank you very much for that correction. We'll be back after this break.